Next, we're going to work with squaring decimals. The nice part is, because we're squaring decimals, which means we're multiplying a number by itself, that when squaring decimals, your answer will always be positive. So no worrying about, is that my answer negative? Just on this part though, so I can't promise that will always be the case. So we have negative 0.8 squared, which remember means negative 0.8 times negative 0.8. So we know it's positive. And what I like to do, just like we did with our division problems, is we can go ahead and treat this like we're doing 8 times 8, which is 64. And then just like our rule, but opposite of division, we have one decimal place in this answer, we have one decimal place in this number. We're going to add them together, which means I need 2 decimal places in my solution. So I go back this way and I get 0.64. If you want to go ahead and multiply it out, you can go ahead and use the lattice method. And when we do that, we get 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 8 is 0, 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 8 is 64, and then you get a 4, a 6, and a 0. And then if we take and draw our decimals over, and then we draw it down, we get down to that 0.64. Looking at the next one, we have 1.2 squared, which, as we know, 1.2 squared is 1.2 times 1.2. I look at this and I say, well, that's like 12 times 12, which I know, because I know my math facts, is 144. And I look and I see that 1.2 is one decimal place. So when I add those together, I need 2 in my answer. So I draw the decimal point over and I get 1.44. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about now that we've worked with squaring is those perfect squares. So I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit easier to look at. And we take a look at these numbers, and you do need to memorize these ones here inside the box. 13 through 16 are optional, but I would encourage you to memorize those as well. Let's go ahead and list them out. 1 squared means 1 times 1, which the perfect square of 1 is 1. 2 squared is 2 times 2, so the perfect square of 2 is 4. 3 squared is 3 times 3, so the perfect square of 3 is 9. 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. 5 squared is 5 times 5, so that's 25. 6 squared, 6 times 6, that is 36. 7 squared, 7 times 7, this is 49. 8 squared is 8 times 8, which is 64. 9 squared is 9 times 9, which is 81. 10 squared, 10 times 10, which is 100. 11 squared is 11 times 11, this is 121. And 12 squared is 12 times 12, which is 144. Now, as for the bonus ones, 13 times 2 is 13 times 13 is 169. 14 squared is 196. 15 squared is 225. And 16 squared is 256. These are going to be useful for you to memorize because they're going to make your life on the quiz a whole lot easier. Plus, that's a pretty big part of this lesson, so hint, hint, you might want to know these for the quiz.